It's unheard of. It's just not appropriate. And everybody must condemn it. Okay? I don't know enough to. I have an opinion, but I don't have any facts. So I want to make sure we have all the facts before I make any more comments. Thank you.
It's you.
Oh, it's assassination attempt. It just isn't appropriate. If Biden wants to lower the temperature, then he can act presidential for once. He would tell the American people Donald Trump is not evil. He's not a threat to democracy. He's merely working within the confines of our Constitution, our great democratic republic, to win a second term. Biden would tell his fellow Democrats, even if you do not like his positions or his rhetoric or his style, Donald Trump is a genuine American with a large following who wants the best for the American people and the country that he loves. As former First Lady Melania Trump so eloquently stated, quote, "A monster who recognized my husband as an inhuman political machine attempted to wring out Donald's passion, his laughter, ingenuity, love of music and inspiration, the core facets of my husband's life. His human side were buried below the political machine. Donald, the generous and caring man who I have been with through the best of times and the worst of times." She goes on, "Let us remember that when the time comes to look beyond the left and the right, beyond the red and the blue, we all come from families with the passion to fight for a better life together while we are here in this earthly realm. The winds of change have arrived. For those of you who cry in support, I thank you. I commend those of you who have reached out beyond the political divide. Thank you for remembering that every single politician is a man or a woman with a loving family. As I've said for years, every Democrat, Republican, they deserve to be safe and protected. I was saying that with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. last night.
Thank you for watching.
I said it
Please
about
subscribe.
Barack Obama when he was president. We settle our differences at the ballot box. We can do it without the smear and the slander that goes on and the doomsday predictions. America, when you stand back in those more sober moments in your life and you think about the blessings of liberty and the blessings of freedom, how lucky are we? What an amazing place filled with incredible people. And there are incredible people, on both sides of the aisle. The American dream is real. It is, in many ways, we're at an inflection point, and fundamentally, our system could be the greatest, best system God ever gave man if we protect it. A republic, if you can keep it, as Ben Franklin said. No country in the history of this earth has done more to advance the human condition, and still Americans across the political spectrum rightfully work toward a more perfect union. We are blessed to live in the greatest single country God gave man, and we have a responsibility to protect and preserve it for our children, for our grandchildren, and we cannot let the hatred, the lying, the smearing, the slander, the besmirching, and the vitriol get in the way. We'll check in with Dana Perino, Newt Gingrich, much more. First, joining us from the very latest from the White House, where Joe Biden just delivered a short speech calling on Americans to lower the political temperatures, our very own Peter Doocy. Peter, I can go on and keep playing just his comments and Jill Biden's comments from last week. Maybe he needs to start by being a good example, because last week he was not a good example.
And Sean, the next couple of days, he will have a chance to demonstrate whether or not he wants to follow through on what he was just talking about. They canceled some remarks that were scheduled tomorrow in Austin, Texas, but tomorrow night he's flying out to Nevada for some pre-planned campaign stops talking to unions, and the campaign is telling us, remember this time last night when we were talking, we were reporting that the campaign was going to pull down all their TV ads for the time being. They were going to pause outbound communications. They are going to resume making their case starting at some point tomorrow, where they lay out their version for the future, and they will explain why they think the Trump and Republican version of the next 4 years is not as good. But to do that, they are going to have to make some major edits to the things that they have been saying. We've heard President Biden use lots of words to describe Donald Trump since the 2019 campaign and since he's been president. Now he is just calling him Donald, and he is saying that he hopes that he is doing well. That is different. There was a lower third. As you guys were coming to me, it said the RNC is going to go on as planned. There's been a change on the Trump side, too. Selena Zito, who was a witness to the shooting yesterday, is reporting in the Washington Examiner that she just had an interview with Trump, and he has rewritten his entire convention speech to be less about Biden and more about unity. So, if Joe Biden is saying it's time to lower the temperature, and Donald Trump is saying, I'm going to give a whole convention speech about unity, it is possible that this entire campaign is going to go forward a lot differently than the last couple years.
And we'll record it and post it here on my YouTube channel.
You know, in the same
so stay
speech,
tuned and
I'll
hit
get
that
into
bell
more detail with Newt Gingrich in a minute about this.
to
in that
see
same speech, he did bring up
videos.
January 6th, but
thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow
riots in the
at the
summer of
convention
2020.
with a video.
We had a couple of dozen dead
God bless
Americans.
Patriots.
We had cops pelted
Keep the
with bricks,
peace.
rocks, bottles, Molotov cocktails, and thousands of cops injured, and billions
And
in
let's
property damage.
beat them at the
And we'll
ballot
get into
box.
Vice President Kamala Harris days after
We
a
don't
police
need no more
precinct in
violence.
Minneapolis was burned to the ground. She tweets out,
God
"A
bless.
bail
I'll see you
fund for
tomorrow."
the people involved in the